Corbin here at Moxie, and I'm going to go over how to wrap both TT bars, and then we'll be doing some road bars later. So the first thing we're going to do is we got some Supercast Super Sticky, the Galaxy with the actual pattern on it. And you can do this with regular bar tape with no pattern, but if you ever get any brand with a pattern on it, this will show you how to show off that pattern and make it look damn near symmetrical on both sides. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go face to face. We'll have this surface being the face right here. I'm going to hold it and make it almost identical. I'm going to go through. What I'm going to do is I'm going to line up star to star on top of it. And that should line it up perfectly on this side, which it does. So now what I'm going to do, and the star is going to be on this side, I'm going to start my cut at a nice angle all the way through, starting on the star side or the pattern side. And then so it's going to look just like that. Easy enough. So that's going to give us almost a seamless start. Now, I get my electrical tape handy, and I'm going to get my scissors handy, because the number one mistake that I still even make is getting a nice trimmed edge and then completely forgetting that, and then it all unravels. So, alright. So when I start, I'm going to take the point, I should say, with the star, and we're going to call this the hard line, as this is the cut line. So this is like the perfect line from the factory. We're going to kind of feed it under the cable on this mechanical TT bar set, and I'm going to note where the star is. So when I pull this around, I see a star right here. I'm going to pull this nice and tight, and it's going to go completely around, and then I'm going to start my angle. And now some people try to say overlap, you know, half or a third. It's really what's up to you that prevents it from sliding apart, especially when the customer or yourself is gripping the bars hard under like a climb or a sprint, something like that. So I'm just going to keep going, and my cheat on the Supercast tape right here is there's a center seam line. So not only do I see the stars wrapping, but the seam line's right there, and I'm just using my eye approximating like 3 mil past the seam line. And what I'm going to do is just keep wrapping it. And this is a smaller bike. I usually use my palm, so no need to put a bunch of extra tape unless the customer specifies it. Now what I'm going to do, and make note to make the seamless end to this, is that I'm going to cut in once again through the star side first. Also, I'm going to leave this line right here be my hard, precise line, where this line is going to be my cut line. And I'm going to do a nice, gradual cut. Nothing steep. And there we have that. And so then what I'm going to do is just roll it nice and tight at the end. And it'll give the illusion that it just kind of disappears. So since we cut this perfectly in half before, I took one side and I left the remnant that I had over from this, and I cut it out to perfectly make this side right here. And so what this is going to be is the exact length of this coiled up to ensure that it is almost symmetrical. We're going to start right here with that star I told myself to make note of right here on the other side, and I'm just going to jump around and start it the same way. And I'm going to make sure that that star is a little lower, like so, and it should ensure that the pattern looks almost identical. So I'm going a little crazy with this, and I decided to do a chameleon bling tape, or oil slick bling tape from Supercast, just to match the color of this beautiful P series right here. And I'm just going to wrap it just a little bit past the bend on this one, just due to the design of the bars, and chances are, if you're in a braking position, you want to have that palm rest. Also, if you notice, I'm wrapping from the controls back rather than the opposite. It's because if you're pushing your weight forward, the overlap is going this way rather than the opposite, so this is less likely to separate with pressure. Once again, a really gradual end cut. We want this side to be nice and proper. And then we'll get the finishing tape, the electrical tape, and then some finishing tape, make it look pro. So before I start this side, I just cut this piece off of my half for the other side that we've done, and just so I can match it up once again like the top, I go face to face, cut out that angle, and I'm gonna have a perfect preform slot to finish this tape up. Just the same old jazz. Now, I haven't really discussed on how tight I'm wrapping this because it's frankly all up to this type of bar tape. I've wrapped Brooks tape, the synthetic and real leather, other older tapes where you gotta put some weight into it. Some physique tapes are like that. This Supercaz, I give it a little snug, but if I pull it too tight, I could rip it. And the same goes for other popular newer brands like Lizard Skins and Silka. So I suggest looking at the manufacturer and what they recommend, their technique for tightness. Some say to twist it a little bit after you finish it before you put the finishing tape. So just keep that in mind when you're wrapping your own bars at home.